Welcome back guys, and guys, I got some feedback on my latest video and you guys want me to read through the balance changes and the update and just give my opinions and my thoughts on it. So that's what we'll be doing today. So to start out, if we go to our inbox, we can see that we got a new card, we got a vampire. The description of vampire is: the vampire is in a bloodlust. She steals life from her enemies, but continually loses her own as long as she is alive. If you go to our deck, we can actually see the vampire stats. If you go to the card collection and scroll all the way to the right, you can see all the cards that you don't have. And I don't have the vampire, so it will be there. So the attack at level 1 is 386, the health is 1179, the range is melee, the speed is 7, lifesteal yes, health loss 10%. Not sure how often it will lose its health, but I guess it's like every second it will lose 10%, because it's kind of a fast moving card. If you just compare that to the Orc Warrior, it's pretty similar, got like twice the attack, but a bit less health as a level 7 Orc Warrior. I don't think this card will be too strong, honestly, but if you use this together with Giant Growth, Heal and Angel, it can be a really good strategy. So that's kind of what I can predict there, that those are the type of cards that people will use together with the vampire. But it's all speculations and we can't really see that right now. I haven't even seen the vampire yet in battles. But I have seen on Cast Crush's Facebook, the official Facebook page, that it showed a small clip of the vampire in action. So it looks pretty strong, but it's not overpowered, far from that. So it'll be really interesting to see the vampire, and I really hope I can get that card soon. And guys, I'll try to keep this video short. I see that it's already above 2 minutes, but I will try my best, so let's continue. So, the rebalancing. Some changes were made to make different decks and strategies more viable. So it pretty much changed, like, they saw probably one type of strategy to be used a lot, and they want to change that. They want to change so we use more kind of different strategies. That's what I think. So at first we got castle health, it's increased by 30%. That's a really big change, and it's probably to counter these rush decks, I assume. Next we got the extra crystal. When you have 12 crystals, extra crystal won't draw a new card and won't cost you any mana. So that pretty much makes the extra crystal useless in the late mana game when you got those 12 crystals. But it's still really good in the beginning of the game, because you can get the crystal advantage and get cards out even faster. But I don't think that the extra crystal will be used as much anymore. Just for that reason that now you can't cycle cards as fast. Like, you can't get cards back as fast when you got 12 crystals. You will still get that castle health back, but that's it. So this might actually lead to more rush decks, I'm not sure. And if you just take a look at all the changes, I've done it before, I think that we'll get more kind of hybrid decks. We won't get as many extra crystals anymore. I think people will try to balance out their decks with some low mana cards, some medium health and some high mana cards. That would be really interesting to see. As well as they open up for a lot new strategies with these card buffs. But we will continue, we got the mana ritual. Now you can stack the mana ritual's mana discount effect. The level of the deployed card will still be set by the mana ritual's level. So pretty much if you got an executioner, you use 1 mana ritual. It will then cost 5 mana. I was going to say 7 there, but 5 mana. Then use a second mana ritual, it would then cost 2 mana. The level of the executioner will still be set by the level of the mana ritual. I think this is a really good change, it's what's definitely needed. We're probably going to see the rise of mana ritual and maybe a decline on extra crystal. But you never know. But that's what I think right now. If we move on, we got Skulking, it got a pretty big buff. The number of skeletons increased from 9 to 12. That's a really big change. Like, you might not think so, that's one extra skeleton per lane, but it will definitely do something. Like, using the Skulking now together with Spectre might be a more viable strategy. I know that most spam decks don't have the Skulking, so that might change, and the Skulking is actually a 10 mana card. Like, just compare that to the Black Knight before this buff. I don't think the Skulking was really that used, I never saw it before. It might be some Spectre decks, but not really that much. So this buff, I'm definitely for that. I think it's a good change, and we'll definitely see some more Skulkings. Next we got the Blizzard. Spell duration decreased by 30%. That's a big change, a really big change. Let's go to check my deck now so I can see the Blizzard and the freeze time now. So level 7 Blizzard, the spell duration is now 7.03 seconds. So before it was between 8 and 9, I guess. So that's a really big change. I'm not sure why they did that. Personally, at my trophy range, I don't really see the Blizzard a lot. With the exception of Unchained Demon decks, maybe that was to nerf the Unchained Demon indirectly. Because Blizzard is mostly used together with Unchained Demon. But probably the Blizzard was used a lot at other trophy ranges and they want to balance it out a bit. Next we got the Pirate. The Pirate's health was increased by 11% and we got the Mage, health increased by 22%. Both of these cards have been buffed in, I believe, the previous update as well. They already got a pretty huge nerf, or pretty huge buff. They got increased health and attack, I believe, I'm not sure about that. So they're definitely not the most used cards, and I guess that those changes are pretty okay. And the Mage will probably be a really good counter node to spam decks, because now we got really good attack and got really good health as well. Like 22%, we can just check the Mage's health in our deck slot. See if we can find it, there it is. So now the attack is at level 3, the attack is 156, the health is 429. It will still not survive Inferno at an equal level, I guess, and arrows, it will die to arrows as well. But it's a pretty big change. Or actually, I think that the Mage at a decent level can survive arrows a bit higher than it. Like maybe 4 or 5 levels, something like that, so that's a pretty big change. So just because of that we might see more Mages in the decks, as well as maybe Executioners if you see the rise of spam decks. So the next part of the balance changes we got Siege Ballista. The Siege Ballista got a really big nerf, or really big buff, and I don't know why I'm saying nerf, like buff. So the Siege Ballista, the attack was increased by 14%, the health was increased by 10% and the speed increased by 33%. So a pretty big buff. So the attack, I can completely understand that. The health got a small change as well, 10%. I don't think it got that much health. Let's go to check the stats of it. So we got a level 6 Siege Ballista. The attack is now 63, the health is 215. So it got like, maybe, yeah, the attack change was like 14%. So that's like 7 plus attack, not that big of change. The health was increased by like 20. Maybe that was to change the ability to bomb the Siege Ballista at a certain level. It might have been. But the Siege Ballista is certainly an underused card, or it was. So I can definitely see why they changed that. Like, you could just leave the Siege Ballista alone to attack your tower and just ignore it pretty much and then just take it out later. There was like no rush to take it out because it will do so much damage to your castle. But now that might change, it got more attack, it got more health. As well as the speed was increased by 33%. I know that before it was really slow, and it had to move quite a bit to actually be in range to hit the castle. So I'm definitely for that change, maybe we'll see some more Siege Ballistas, I'm not sure. Next we got the standard bearer. Its attack was increased by 50%. That's a huge change, guys, a huge change. And health was increased by 8%. Not that big of a deal, we're just going to check the stats of that as well. See if I can find it, there it is. So the attack now is 107, the health is 461 at level 2. I know that you mostly used the standard bearer before, because of its teleport ability. You can, if you put down the siege, or it's not siege ballista, if you put down the standard bearer in one lane, all your troops will be teleported to that one lane. And that's pretty much the reason why you would use that card. It still is, but now it's more viable as a troop itself. Like, it got attack increased by 50%. I know that before you could pretty much take it out with just one warrior, so that's pretty insane. So now that might change, and we might see some more standard bearers, and that will definitely change the strategies, of course. So it will be interesting to see. I don't really like the phased standard bearer, but we'll see. I like to use it, so we'll see. So next we got Stone Statue. The health was increased by 20%. From what I know, the Stone Statue must be like one of the most underused cards in the game. So I can see why they decided to buff that. I don't think it will really change that much. I don't really see how the Stone Statue will increase its usage rate a lot. Like, even if you got that health increase, the Stone Statue is really just good in the first few minutes of the game, like first few seconds, like in the beginning of the game pretty much. In the late game, it's pretty useless, honestly. But we'll see, maybe we can see more kind of different rush decks. Like where they use Stone Statue, but with most rush decks, at least what I see now, the most popular one is like Archers, Warrior, Dwarf, Orc Warrior, Skeleton Swarm, Skeletons, Genie. That's pretty much what you see. But we might see some different type of rush decks, like maybe more Reaper rush decks. Maybe together with the Standard Bearer, who knows? We'll definitely try out some new strategies after this change. Like we got Siege Ballista buff, Standard Bearer buff, Stone Statue. We got a lot of changes, so we really have to try out some different strategies to see what works. So after Stone Statue we got the Dragon. The health was increased by 5%. 5% might not sound like a lot, but the Dragon got a lot of health, so it's quite a difference. Let's just check the Dragon here. So we got a level 2 Dragon, and now it got 401 attack, like it had before, and health is now 2358 at level 2. The Dragon is the most expensive card in the game, it's 12 mana. And you can see why they decided to buff that. I don't really see the Dragon a lot. You rarely see that, and it's really difficult to actually get the Dragon out. Just because of its high mana cost. We might see a change on that now, with the mana ritual change. Because now the mana ritual will stack, so we might see more dragons, and with this buff, it might help out. So next we got the Catapult. The attack was increased by 14%, health increased by 12%. Quite a noticeable change, and I can completely understand why they decided to change that. The Catapult is rarely used. It was used a bit together with the type of rush decks I mentioned before with Genie and low mana cards. But I don't really see that a lot. It can easily be taken out by Lightning. I check the Inferno stats here. Okay, my Catapult is really low leveled, it's level 4. I'm checking with my Inferno at level 8, it will take out a level 4 Catapult. But as you level up the Catapult, it won't be taken out by the Inferno as easily. But a level 4 Catapult right now got 129 attack, got 451 health. The range is just insane on this thing. It doesn't move as fast, but it shoots really fast. So I can definitely see if some people try out to use the Catapult more, now when it got more attack and more health, and it might be used even more. I'll definitely try it out as well. I'm gonna try to see if I can find a good Catapult deck, who knows. So guys, if we move on, we got the Storm Elemental. The bonus attack per minute increased by 13%. Quite a noticeable change there as well, and I can see why they did that. Even if it's a legendary card, it's pretty weak, and it has crossed the entire lane from your castle to your opponent's castle for it to be able to kill skeletons at a certain level. I'm not sure which level, maybe level 7, level 8, something like that. So it's pretty weak, and this might increase the usage rate. Definitely for that. So next we got the A-Pirate. The health was increased by 19%. The A-Pirate is also a pretty underused card. I have actually used or created a new A-Pirate deck. I did that before the changes actually. It's a A-Pirate and Black Knight deck pretty much. And I really see how you can use the A-Pirate. It's really good against these slow moving or fast moving melee troops. So it really got its usage rate there, or its use. But against ranged cards it's not that good, but I can see why they increased the health. It's not really used a lot. So we might see some more A-Pirates. It's a really good card before the buff, and it's even better now. Next we got the Fortify. Castle health increased by 39%. That's a huge change there, and I can see why they want to stop these kind of rush decks. So I can see why they did that. It might be a more viable card now. I didn't really see it a lot before. If you guys haven't noticed yet, they did actually change the animation of the Fortify. And next we got the Giant Grove. This might be a really unexpected buff for most of you guys. But the bonus attack was increased by 5% and the bonus health was increased by 5%. You might not think that... You might think why did they buff the Giant Grove? That was the most used card together with Unchained Demon, and is that they're buffing the Unchained Demon now? But keep in mind that they did nerf the freeze. And I'm not sure why they decided to buff the Giant Grove. Maybe it's because they want to change the usage rate of it and change how people use it. I'm not sure. But I have nothing against the change at all. And next we got the Protection. The Protection health was increased by 43%. Protection is another really underused card. You never see that card. I believe that before the freeze or the blizzard, why would you use the Protection when you could use the freeze? It pretty much had the same effect. But now with Protection change, you might see more Protection. I think that's a really good change. It might work together with Skeleton Swarm and things like that. You can save them from the Inferno and arrows and cards like that. Really not what your opponent expects. But guys, now we read through all of these changes and guys, this is my thoughts and opinions on that. And please leave your thoughts on these changes in the comments down below. That would be awesome. I would love to read that. But guys, this is it for today's video, and guys, I will see you next time.